Hi, welcome again to Caboose Fresh. Thanks for using us. If you haven't used us before, I'll just spend a couple of minutes explaining what the concept is here. So you'll have received your nice bag full of all the ingredients. They've been pre-measured and packed out, packaged up for you, so you don't have to worry about the amounts. And you'll also have a recipe sheet inside the bag. So on the sheet, it'll ask you to do maybe a couple of prep tasks. And in this case, it's just getting all the stuff out and ready to go, because once we start cooking, you're going to need everything to hand, really. We're doing this live, so when you're doing it, you could pause the video and go back. So you might want to make the pancake batter and set it aside, then sort of start yourself fresh. It depends on your experience and how rushed you want to be, I guess. So, Dan, do you want to tell us a little bit about this dish before we get cracking?
Yeah, it's an old French dish. It's pan Perdu, means the forgotten bread, like the leftover bread. It's funny, stale bread that's left lying around. They used to make like a pancake batter, a sweet pancake batter, and dip the bread in that. Because it's stale, it soaks it all up, and then when they pan fry in a little bit of oil or butter, it's a really, really nice dish. It's basically French toast, but it's like a sweet version. This is like the original French toast.
Right.
That's basically it.
Good, sounds good. Well, I'm not sure how stale my bread is like, but I've had it sitting out for about 20 minutes. It tells you that on the recipe sheet, to get your bread out in advance and just let it sit there. Is that just to let all the moisture come out so that it soaks up?
Yeah, exactly. That's, you know, you can use a big chunky bit of bread as well. If you do the same with that, if it's stale, it just soaks it all up. You know, any bread's fine, really. You know. Right,
cool. So I'm a complete novice, never done this before. I'm not quite sure I'm looking forward to doing this one either. But and the whole point is Dan, our head chef's going to talk me through it, give me hints and tips, and make sure that any challenges I come across, we overcome them. So Dan, I'm ready to go. If you want to just tell me what I'm doing first.
Yeah, okay, no worries. Right, you can have the frying pan heating up slowly, like just on a low heat, and have that heating up just while you're making your pancake batter.
Okay.
And then you want to crack your eggs into that bowl. And you're going to whisk the sugar into there first.
Just chuck it all in?
Yeah, just chuck all the sugar in there. And just give it a really good whisk. And once that's in, you're going to add the flour into that just gradually. And you really, like, you do that half at a time, just really beat the hell out of it, because you don't want any lumps in it. And then go for the rest. And then once that's mixed in properly, you need to add the coconut milk in. And just making sure that pan doesn't get too hot, Mark.
Seems okay.
Right.
I can't talk and whisk at the same time.
Is that really thick now, is it?
Yeah.
Right, so add the coconut milk to that.
Oh, it's really thick, that.
Yeah, you need the milk in it. You need the milk in it, yeah. And then you might need to add a bit more milk than that. You'll have to just see how it comes out. Is that looking better? So is it more of a pancake batter consistency now?
Yeah, definitely.
Aye?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So what you need to do, you're going to fry the bread in 2 batches. So put half that bread in, soak it, and then fry it in a bit of oil and a little bit of butter as well. Just a little bit of oil and butter in your pan. Add the oil to the pan first, then add the butter, and as the butter's melting, and so once the butter's all melted and starts to foam, add the bread.
Well, just a bit of vegetable oil, yeah?
Yeah, just a little bit of veg oil. Just the oil's just to stop the butter from burning. And then add just a little bit of butter. You don't need all that, because you'll need some of that for your caramel as well, which you're going to make after. Right, and then just get that turned up, and you want to soak half of the bread in there. So you should have how many slices of bread there, Mark?
3 slices half, so it's 6 pieces of bread.
Right, so soak 3 in there, and then you want to fry 3. And you just make sure the pan's nice and hot. That butter's melting nicely. I just give it a good move, that pan. And then go in with your bread once it's nice and soaked. So you haven't soaked 3 of them though. We soaked 3 and you've left 3 out.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on. Right, so get them straight in. You have to get your hands in there.
Just drop them straight in the pan, yeah?
Yeah, go for it, go for it. You may be better off getting your hands in the bowl because it's gonna, in the case the bread rips or something, if it gets too soft. Right, you want to turn that up and just get that frying, and get your 2 plates ready. Sorry?
We'll chuck the other 3 bits in there.
Not quite, not just yet. Just wait till you flip it over. Once you flip it over, you can do that. Then get your 2 plates out, and then you get ready. Just put them on the plates when they're cooked, because the last thing you do is caramelize the pineapple. Yeah, that's it. And then you need a lifter just to flip them over when they're ready.
I'll turn them over.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, that's nice, right? Right, it doesn't take a lot of frying now. That's it, right? So once they're out, stick them on one plate. Then you can soak the bread in now. And then you're gonna chuck the rest of the bread in. So as soon as the next lot comes out the pan, you're gonna wipe the pan out. Don't wash it, just wipe it. Put it straight back on the heat. Get it hot straight away. Add the demerara sugar to the bottom of the pan, and when that starts to melt into a caramel, you add the pineapple. Let the pineapple start to colour. Then add some butter and just glaze it so it colours nicely. But I'll talk you through it as you go. And then you're gonna sit that with the bread and some cream. That should be ready to go now. And this is filling. I mean, you can have this as a main course if you want to do. You know, it's supposed to just be a dessert, but it's really nice breakfast actually. All right, and straight on with the rest of the bread.
I'm just trying to make sure it's all coated. Some of it's not got any on.
Ah, I see what you mean, because it sticks together.
Yeah.
You've got one more there, right?
Yeah.
That's it, and just get them frying. You can get rid of that bowl now as well.
Okay.
Right. So once they're frying, I mean, all you need to do now is wait for them to cook. When they come out, you wipe the pan, add the sugar. The sugar melts. You add the pineapple and start to cook it. Add a little bit of butter, and then you can even add a tiny little bit of water to that. But I'll show you when we get there. All you need to do now is wait for them to cook.
It's not something you'd normally associate with dessert, really, is it?
No, not really. I mean, we're going to have it. Well, we've had it on the restaurant before. I've had it on as a dessert, as like a special dessert. And then we've got it on a breakfast item there as well. But we use a brioche burger bun. When the brioche burger buns go still, you just cut them into a nice shape and you can fry them. They're actually perfectly used.
So when you say stale, you mean, they're just a little bit harder to the touch than normally it's spread?
Exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean by stale bread? It's still edible. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a little bit dry. It's a couple of days old, that's all. And if you try and use normal bread, you'll see what happens. It just doesn't soak it up, you know? You just end up soaking the bread. It just doesn't it doesn't taste as nice. It doesn't absorb the flavour or anything, you know?
Well, the thing is, that's why it's important that when people's making this, we set the bread out, because I can't buy stale bread.
No, you can't. Yeah,
I've got
exactly.
to buy fresh bread, and I'm not going to set it out, because I don't know when you're going to make it. So when you get stuff, you know when you're going to cook it. So take it out an hour or whatever before, and just let it sit at room temperature, and that's going to dry it out, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly what you need to do. Well, that's really ready to come out the pan now. And then this is the hard bit now. So when you're caramelizing the pineapple, right, you're gonna add the butter, and then when you flip it over, you can add a little tiny bit of water to the pan, just a tiny bit. But I'll show you as you go. So get the sugar straight in there. You probably won't even need to wipe it out.
No, it's pretty clean.
Yeah, just go for it with the sugar. Sprinkle it over the bottom so it spreads out nicely. Right, just like that. And you want to get that melting. And you've got your pineapple rings there ready to go.
Pineapple rings, yeah.
Then turn that heat up nice and high.
Yeah, it's beginning to caramelize already.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can use caster sugar. It's just tricky to use. Demerara sugar, because it's quite coarse, it can move around the pan nice. So you can flatten it quite easily. Yeah, the caramelizes really easy. There you go. Right, chuck the pineapple in. Be careful with that. Right, then turn the heat down a little bit, because, well, just keep your eye on it. That's what I say. With caramel, you've got to use your initiative as well. So once it starts to look like nice and golden brown on that side, add a little tiny bit of butter and just swirl the pan around nicely to incorporate the butter. Right, get the pan moving, and then you want to turn them over. Then you add a little bit of water to that pan, Mark, but be careful when you do so. Tiny little bit. There, then move the pan quickly. Right, and you want to turn them over. That's it. How's it looking?
Oh, they look lovely, yeah.
Right, okay, so just you don't want that on the heat anymore now, okay? And then you just want to place the pineapple on top of the bread.
Yeah.
Right, now garnish it with a few sprigs of mint. And then just pour the pouring cream over the top, and that's it.
Like that?
Yeah, perfect, aye. And then just stick your cream over the top of there. That's it.
That looks absolutely tremendous.
Yeah, it's nice. It's like I say, it's a really good breakfast, that. It's a really good breakfast.
Not exactly a good for you breakfast, but some good, some good stuff in there. It's going to taste tremendous.
Oh yes, it's really is. You can do it with all sorts. You can do it with chocolate and orange. You can do it with apples. You can do it with anything, any fruit really, as long as you get some caramel on it. You know,
Yeah.
even if you did it without the caramel, you can do it with some fresh berries. You can put a bit of yogurt with it. Just the bread's the thing that people don't really think about. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Right, brilliant. Well, again, if I can make that, then anyone can definitely make it. You can see how easy that is, really. When I say easy, it's not difficult, but it's easy when you know how and you've got someone guiding you through it. So thanks for that, Dan. Another nice meal. I hope yours turns out nice, and thanks again for using us. Cheers, Dan. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.